This game just shot up to the top of my most wanted list. Hello my friends, it's August 13th. Yes, it is still August 13th, even in the East Coast. I'm getting to the video late today, I apologize. But today, for today's big story, we're talking about something that I think is a big story. I'm sure a lot of people are going to skip over this video, and that's okay. Not everything is for everyone. Today, we are talking about the Switch console exclusive. It is also coming to PC, but exclusive on consoles to Switch, Gris. I found out about Gris last week. Today we got the debut trailer for Gris, but we saw some artwork last week, got a whole bunch of details about it. But today was the official unveiling of the game to the public. There, like I said, a couple people got hands-on with it before it was officially announced, so we got some tidbits from there. Today we saw the first trailer. This game, man, everything about it I love. I was gonna like show a little bit of the trailer in the corner, this corner probably, but I'm just gonna show you a snippet from it full screen because this game looks amazing. As you're probably getting from the footage, this is aiming to be a very emotional game, a very moving game. Tells the story of this main character, Gris, and we don't know too much details about what she's going through, but it seems like she's dealing with something tough, and we don't know if the world that she's in is in her mind, or if she's actually there. Just, I love these kind of games, and the developers gave an interview. It's Nomada Studio. They gave an interview and they were saying they were inspired by games like Journey and Flower and Inside, and those are, for me, some of my favorite games of all time. I love that type of game. I don't know what you'd call that type of game. It's not your average game, that's for sure, but I just love experiences like that. I just watched two people play through Inside on Switch just a couple weeks ago, and I played through it myself when it launched back on Xbox One. Love that game. So to see them list these games and that's what they're striving for, that type of like deep emotional experience, I am totally on board. Hawk over on Go Nintendo says, I'll admit I'm always a bit suspicious of games that claim to emotional and artistic. I'm thinking he meant to say B. Right out of the gate. I guess I suspect they might have less focus on gameplay than their narrative or art style. Still, it looks really nice, so I'm going to pay attention to the reviews. Certainly, I understand where you're coming from, and like I said, this isn't going to be for everybody. There's a lot of gamers who don't want to play games like this. They're not looking for deep emotional experiences. They're just looking to have some fun, so they play, you know, a Mario game. You know, I'm going to list games that people are going to be like, I've had emotional experiences with those. That's fine, that's great, that's wonderful. I'm just, you know, cherry-picking games, you know, let's say like sports games like Madden or something like Fortnite. I think it's pretty safe to say the game's core mechanics and gameplay aren't going to give you a deep emotional experience. Maybe you'll form those feelings through playing those games alongside someone else, but the games themselves, I wouldn't think so. But again, if you felt that way, that's great. So I know it's not going to be for everyone, and I've also played some games that I feel have really tried to hit the same marks as Journey and stuff like that. And they've missed the mark a bit. I will say I played Abzu on PS4. I was very excited about it because it looked like a game in that kind of style, and it just... The game was gorgeous, but the game itself I just didn't find to be that... It set such a high bar trying to aim for those other games. Just didn't measure up for me. I don't think it's a bad game, but it's not one I look back on like extremely fondly. I do remember some parts in that game that I really enjoyed, but overall, no. And then to a lesser extent, there's something like Rime, and Rime was another game where I was like, oh, this looks like it could be something like that, and those developers were obviously trying to make it like Journey or Inside or Limbo, you know, just some kind of emotional experience like that. And I think Tequila Works hit the mark in some regards and didn't in others. I do enjoy that game. I do recommend it to people. I just don't put it up on that upper echelon, the upper tier of those games that I mentioned before. So I understand the trepidation here, especially if you're not into that type of game, but there are some things this game really has going for it right off the bat. Nomada Studio, you might not have heard of them because they're brand new. This is their first game, but the developers on this team are not new to creating games. They've actually come from a whole bunch of AAA studios, and they've been working on AAA games all their lives. So the big name companies and the big name publishers. So I would imagine for some people, you work at those studios for a very long time, and you're like, you know, I'm just tired of big budget, titles for the masses. I want to make something more meaningful to me, something more meaningful for the audience that picks it up. A different kind of experience. So they're working on Gris, and like I said, it's their first game. So I think the chances of it, first game under this studio, they certainly had development experience in their respective companies that they worked for, but I would imagine that this project is going to be something really special because they came together to create this, and from what I've seen, it looks absolutely amazing. I thought Celeste was going to be a game like that, and it totally was. A great platformer, fantastic platformer, but a very deep and emotional experience too, so I'm getting similar vibes from Gris. I'm crossing both my fingers, but really, as of right now, this is at the tippy top of my list of most wanted Switch games. Alright, my friends, that's today's big story for August 13th, 2018. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting. It's very much appreciated. I'll be back tomorrow for whatever tomorrow's big story is, and I sure hope you'll join me to check it out. So until then, have a lovely day and a lovely evening, and I'll see you in a few short hours. Hey guys, RMC here from Go Nintendo. If you like what you saw in the video, why don't you give us a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe? We'd love to have you. If you want to see what else we're up to, you can check out GoNintendo.com for 24-hour Nintendo news. You can visit us on Facebook at Facebook.com/GoNintendo. You can check us out on Twitter at Twitter.com/GoNintendoTweet. And we're even over on Instagram at Instagram.com/GoNintendo. I put all the links in the description just to make it easier for you guys to follow. Thanks a lot.